Blessings by virtue and not by obligation. Month 10 in the Eternal Calendar, Month 1, Day 7, 2023. Thus said the Lord, when is the ministry Eros? He asked. And he himself answered, when everything is to your convenience. I do what I do looking for remuneration. Why do you say, I don't do this, or that, because I don't know? Perhaps you say that my word is a lie. Well, there I declare, whom I call, I enable. He who flees from his duty and seeks duties to which he has not been called, will fail, because, even what he thinks he has will be taken from him. Oh, brothers! God is calling brothers, so, they can get places, but not so that what this brother, those, sheltered there, uses them as slaves, where they work from sunrise to sunset, and the owner just talks and doesn't act, just sends and doesn't go. The Lord said, many have never had equilibrium in their lives and in their homes, and they pretend to maintain equilibrium in others around them. He who does not put as base of his life the glory of God is like the one who commands and does not go. It is a tinkling cymbal. How many do not fill their mouths with my word, but in their lives deny its efficacy? Soon, apparent happiness, even this, will escape from their countenance, for they serve their purposes for loaves and the fishes. Many force, or wish, or believe, to force me to work in favor of their purposes, but all those who are negligent to my divine requirements will not receive happiness, but rather sadness and confusion. It is better to eat delicacy alone, in peace with God, than with a congregation that talks but does not do. Such will soon stay by the wayside, and many will pass by their side and will shake their heads. And they will say, wasn't this the one who came out and walked quickly down the road and greeted us from afar and said, advance, come by my way, I'll receive you? And, now that we start the way, he goes back. And we overtook him? And we surpassed him? We advised him to come with us, and he refused. Because, believing he knew his way and said, I am a Levite and I will become 144,000. Leave me in my place and go on your way, made him stay stagnant. So they left him. And we went on our way and anchored our feet and our tents with hard labor, where the sun fatigued us. And, at night, sleep fled from our eyes. And, seeing the man next to the road that they were already anchored, he exclaimed, because of me is this. You have the duty to sustain me. But they replied, we follow God, because you told us about him. And, while you slept, we fulfilled his mission. Now, then, why do you say, you have a duty to sustain me? Perhaps are we not like you? And we arrived even after you? So let's take our case to the judge, with the officer's evidence, and when they hear us they'll know if we have the right to a lawyer or not. So they did. And the officer collected the evidence and presented it to the judge. And he ruled that both parties had a lawyer. So both parties went in search of a lawyer, and to one it was granted. But the other, after going in search of a lawyer, decided that he did not need it. The day of the trial arrived and, when they presented themselves, the evidence was exposed and the verdict given. And the man who was by the road, there was his weeping and gnashing of teeth. So now think. To those of the jury, the judge said, see where you put your hand, because if you help the negligent you will be guilty, according to them. And if you do not help the needy, you will be guilty of judgment. Because I know the motives of your hearts, where the jackals fight with the hyenas and defeat them. And these, in turn, go out to round up the sheep. But the good shepherd gives his life for them and will keep them within his fold. Moreover, the negligent guide will trust the goats, by seeing his craftiness, to his fate. And will finish with every one the hyenas and jackals. Thus, many will say on that great day, Lord, in your name we did this and that. And I will tell you. From me, you evildoers, because you were a helping hand to the lazy, and you turned your back on the needy, when he needed bread before he gleaned his sown land. I put this among you to test your heart, whether you walk in my ways or not. I have my witnesses all over the earth and I see consciously who takes advantage of the gift that I give, of time, and who does not. And, according to the effort of each one, it will be his reward. There are two groups, those who claim to be his people, but are unfaithful sentinels, and those who say and do his will. Oh, beloved! The lines are very clear before the Eternal. The accusation, and the challenge, of God against these first ones are clear and decided. God grant that we can understand all this and we can make the right decisions. Because everything is being passed in revision. And there are the witnesses, who are going to present the evidences. Oh, beloved brothers, let us go on our knees before God, let us ask for forgiveness, let us amend what we have to amend. Let us prepare ourselves wholeheartedly. Because certainly, if we do not prepare ourselves, we are going to be unhappy in this world, in the little that remains, and we are not going to have any participation in the eternal world. It is my plea and prayer that all the eternal flock may be ready to meet our God. May the Lord bless us.